This episode is brought to you by FBP Today, the leading platform for finance business partnering insights and training. Visit fbptoday.com to learn more.
Production manager comes to finance, how he will learn finance, what is the key information he should know about finance?
The finance is not a luxury. Finance language is not a luxury. It is a language like English.
Everybody can pass the exam, but not everybody can succeed in their life.
The key lesson here for our audience that, especially if they are young in their age in university time is not only for studies. This time is priceless. Use every single day. You need to make sure that you're adding value to the company, not in one role, not on one project, exactly every single day. If you're known for your disruptive ideas, the VUCA man, that you put him on a challenge and turn this challenge into a fabulous opportunity and get everyone around the table, you'll be the man of the company at the end of the day. This auditor told me that this is not the place for creativity. You just follow the procedures. We deal with people money here. This is not university.
Hello everyone, this is a new podcast, a special podcast with my friend. The friend I met with him 2 years ago, and his one advice has changed my life. So he gave me simple advice, Nadeem, why don't you start video content? And I was thinking why I'm not making video content. That thought came into my mind, and since then I'm still making my video content. So my friend is with me, Mahmoud Reda. Assalamu alaikum, Mahmoud Reda, how are you?
Good to see you, Syed, on video, which is something that you're flowering and exceeding my expectation, I have to say.
No, you remember when I made my first video, I shared with you.
True.
And you gave me a lot of comments. You are not liking it, but you are giving me some comment, Nadeem, improve this. So I think today I'm going fine. What do you think?
You're going pro. You're even exceeding my expectation. You're better than me now. I think that the objective is just to make sure that you go in camera. It's only one step. Once you have one video, then you will be addicted to it. Look at your profile now. When you scroll on your profile, it's full of videos now, as you can see.
I remember we met, I think, 2 years ago in Dubai, and the objective was totally different. But you turned something with the discussion, and that is still, alhamdulillah, going on. And today I'm sitting in front of you.
That's my pleasure.
So thank you so much, first of all, for accepting my invitation for this podcast. And I know your journey. Last 15 years, you are working in Unilever. And I think you are managing many things, podcasts and finance for non-finance. So, Mehmoud, can you just give us some background from your side, who you are, how you started, and how you are managing things in Dubai?
Okay. So I think, first of all, I would love to say that I'm a father of two lovely kids. This is really the passion and motivation that may make me wake up in the morning full of power of energy every single day. You always need to set a purpose in your life so at least you can cope with the changes happening there. I think I'm a finance graduate 17, 18 years ago. And then when I graduate from accounting and auditing, I fall in love with numbers, I have to say. I see numbers explains everything around us when it comes to economy, finance, even medicine, medical, numbers everywhere. And I started my career in banking sector. I stayed 2 years in banking sectors, two different banks, to be fair. And after some time and 2 years in banking, I was deeply dying for motivation to do something creative. I remember my discussion with my auditor. In every bank, you have an auditor that take all the work of yesterday to review on the next day morning and put some comments that this need to be fixed. And the minute I try to create or be creative in any of the process, this auditor told me that this is not the place for creativity. You just follow the procedures. We deal with people money here. This is not university. I think after this comment, I made my decision. Nothing against banking at all, of course, but it doesn't fit my aspiration to do something new every single day. And then I joined the FMCG industry, specifically Unilever. And that is too much change, I have to say. The base of change in FMCG, it is outstanding every single day, and now it is an hourly basis in terms of change. And during these 15 years in Unilever, I think I run all the seats across the finance, across the region as well. three different countries or four different regions, even managing four cities so far. I think the previous assignment I used to be the head of finance for Levant and Iraq region, a beautiful place full of VUCA and has a pressure on finance and how to navigate the storm there. I learned a lot in that assignment. And very recent assignment as well, managing a very big transformation project in Unilever. And now I'm changing seats in a completely different new field, which is customer planning, something that is completely new for me, and I'm learning on that. You can see that in my personality. I'm eager to go for new horizons, challenge myself, and see how can I learn and evolve whenever I move forward.
I was seeing your profile, a LinkedIn profile, Mahmoud, and I saw a lot of movement in Unilever, within Unilever. It's a list of positions that you took and left and took and left. So it was your decision or company want to give you more responsibilities? How it was happening in 15 years is a big period, but normally people don't change multiple role like you have changed in 15 years. So
Yeah.
how it was happening and how was your experience in transformation?
Yeah, you set your brand in your company, Said, for if you're known for your disruptive ideas, the VUCA man, that you put him on a challenge and turn this challenge into a fabulous opportunity and get everyone around the table, you'll be the man of the company at the end of the day. That whenever we have a challenge in one place, let's send Reda to that place, for example, to revamp and fully unwire that black box, if I may say. And the minute you're branded this way, you will be keen to be as a key talent. That whenever we have a challenge somewhere, let's send Reda to do that, for example. And again, it goes back to you. If you're kind of person that you feel comfort in one place, one city, one role for much longer period of time, you see your learning curve is not evolving. You will not be surviving big changes in the company, i.e., um uh, any other restructuring plans or any other challenge in the company. You need to make sure that you're adding value to the company, not in one role, not in a one project, exactly every single day. And that's what I call it consistency in delivery. Because consistency in delivery that you have to deliver every single project every single day. The minute you take the mark and you deliver a fabulous results coming from a very bad situation, your brand shine more and
Hmm.
your head rise higher for the next assignment, for the next challenge, and so on. So that can be like a joint agreement between my personality and how I love to operate, and the company where the company see the value as well, and where they put you in the right place to drive value. Was it easy? Of course not. Does it come on a price on my family and my health? Of course, yes, I have to say. Um, does it burden your career that you're moving a lot, for example? Yes, in some cases. But the most important thing that I'm enjoying it and I'm learning, I'm evolving. That's what I set as a rule for me to go or not to go for any role or assignment anywhere as we speak now.
You started Unilever in 2010, right? With the role of, I think, finance business partner.
True.
And that role was not known role at that point of time. But
True.
today, finance business partner, everybody is fighting for this role. They want to learn something. What is finance business partner? It was not before. So how did you get this role, and what was the challenging at that time? Because you moved from banking to FMCG sector with the different role, which is finance business partnering. How did you build this kind of, I can say, personality that will integrate with other department?
True. That's a beautiful question. Yes, I remember these days I used to struggle to explain to my friends outside work what exactly I'm doing. Because for them, the perception about finance, remember 2010, huh? This is not very recent.
This, yeah.
Now, because of all of the podcasts, education, technology, finance department is converted into a business partner totally as you speak now. But if you look 2010, the finance business partner was a completely invention. It was something very new. And then everyone used to ask me, what exactly you're doing? You're not an accountant. You're not a controller. You're not a cost accountant. You're not based on the factory. You're not based on the finance team. What exactly your decision? Are you decision support analyst? Like you get some information, you do your analysis, and this is not the case long time ago. And to be fair, Unilever used to be setting some ground rule that to be as a business partner, you have to go through all other finance department to gain the depths of the knowledge of the understanding. So whenever you move into uh, a mini CFO of products of groups, which is this is the kind of business partner, you have the deep understanding of what exactly how you navigate and you run this own small company within the company itself and drive more value. Uh, I think the flowering point here, Said, as a being business partner, one is how to deal with people and how to negotiate with the people because finance business partner, a big part of our role is negotiation, negotiating the clear actions, negotiating the impact of the actions. Because even if you reflect something in the future, you need to convince your partner based on facts and figures that this should be the right path. And even if you disagree with your partner, that's a concept partner. He's not my boss. I'm not his boss. I'm not reporting to him. He doesn't or she doesn't report to me. This kind of beautiful relation at work can drive miracles when it comes to creating value because we need to agree together that even if there is a struggle and we disagree, we need to learn how to agree together on a common ground. Because if we don't agree on a common ground, myself and himself and herself will not look nice in front of the business presenting a case or having a final direction at the end of the day. And once we agree on that room, that will be our decision. We cannot go back and say, I was asking for X, but you insisted on Y. This kind of relation business that unlock the huge potential of the business, that's what I've seen. And it create the trust. The minute you work together with your partner and deliver something big for the company, it unlock the next level. It's like a game. It goes to the next level and you take much bigger scope. If you see in the history as well, I started with very small category. They tried the capability of that newly joined person coming from banking sector in a small category, and eventually based on the results and performance, you go higher and higher for more complex, bigger, competitive products to go and manage as a business partner as well.
But that was starting point. I understand you manage everything with the negotiation, everything. But my point, what I want to learn that how did you think that this role should work like this,
Mm,
right? Because you had banking background and that was completely different scenario. If you are taking new role, you should learn something before you are taking.
true,
It's not like you are jumping into the water and then you learn swimming. You can die.
true. But yeah, back then, 2010, you cannot be a business partner if you don't have a solid finance understanding and knowledge. So I
Correct.
am a major finance graduate, accounting and auditing. Banking sector, yes, they respect the process, but they build the nature of having the right agility and having the right uh, audit mindset that you make sure that you protect the company asset. That's the banking. People come and put their all saving side in your hands, and you need to make sure that you make the best use of this money for them and for you. So that kind of ownership of having the company assets and protecting the company assets was just a foundation of that. But maybe
Wow.
in the interview back, that's 2010, I used to be 24, 23 years old, yani, without calculating my age now. But I mean, at the time in the interview, the interviewer sensed that I'm not only good with numbers, but I'm good in telling story, having the right mindset when it comes to agreement and disagreement, the positive attitude and mindset that no matter what the situation is bad, we can see the bright side out of that. Dealing with people, maybe presentation skills because I made presentation as well, uh, using your own capability. To be fair as well, there is something secret I've never shared before that even before banking, during the university, I used to have a full-time job in the evening with
Okay.
one of the telecommunication company. And in the weekend, I used to organize conference and do presentations as well
Good.
in one of the big library in Alexandria as well. So this kind of investment that I made during the university and dealing, so these two jobs next to my full-time studies in university, being a telecommunication company, I used to meet at least 100 customers every single day.
Oh,
And this 100 customer, it create a fingerprint in your head. I know this background. I know how to deal with you.
yeah.
I've seen that person before. And every single day, 100, if you count in 6 months training, it's a full-time job, but they call it training. You like met like thousands of customer from different background, different consumer, different purchasing power, different categories. And at the same time, when you go to build your own career in knowing how to present, organize conference, when you organize conference as a volunteer, you not get paid. but you see people on a stage and you observe and learn how they present. So this mix between solid finance background, investing in dealing with people, and having a voluntary activity to do how to presentation, this kind of mix make your CV or your personality spark when it comes to finance business partner as an interview, as an even a new joiner as well.
Yeah.
So maybe the key lesson here for our audience that, especially if they're young in their age in university, university time is not only for studies. This time is priceless. Use every single day. We didn't used to have this AI as we speak now. So it used to be a struggle. Yes, AI is a challenge, but at the same time, it's an opportunity. So that can be a beautiful time where it can make you graduate as a superstar, not to start after graduation, see what kind of courses and capability that you need to build up for that.
Yeah, this is what I tell people, that everybody can pass the exam, but not everybody can succeed in their life. And this is a different game. There are two life phases. One phase when you are a student, you are judged by the numbers, results. It's all logical. You can calculate something, that you are a good student or bad student. But when you are coming into practical life, it's so difficult for you to judge people by their numbers, because the behavior, the attitude, the passion, motivation, many things come together, and that will transform you to a different person.
True,
Maybe your technical skills contribute 20%, but 80% are other factors that you need to learn in your college life.
true, true.
I was reading one thing, that when you start your career, there are ratio of focusing on technical and your soft skills. Because when you're starting your career, your 80% focus is on technical skills, because your hiring criteria is technical. 20% I can say is a soft skills. But when you are passing your 5 years of your career, then you have to shift the focus. You
True,
have to decrease technical skills focus and increase soft skills. So it can be 50-50%. And when you move to leadership role, it can be 80-20, 80 soft skill, 20 technical skills. So if smart people follow these kind of ratio, that's why they grow very fast. Hey everyone, I highly recommend to join my finance business partnering development program. It's designed to help you build the skill and mindset to grow in your career. Click in the description to enroll. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.
I fully agree with you, and this percentage will be even higher when it comes to the soft skills with the AI world now. Technically, you need to understand, of course, the job itself. But now, when I do interviews outside now, side for hiring, for example, I look for collaboration skills. I look for the boss-up mindset. I look for the articulation, by the way, because most of our discussion with AI is about articulation, creating a story for the AI to get the best result out of that. Of course, yani I cannot hire someone with zero technical understanding of what exactly we're hiring. But especially on the fresh grad, on the very junior roles that we're hiring, I look for the soft skills and the mindset and the culture. And I assume that the technical part will be following that on the go as well.
Mhm. So,
Uh,
Mehmood, one question just comes in my mind. You are in Dubai since last 15 years, right? So many people want to know that when you want to hire someone in finance, FP&A, business partner, what are the skills you are looking for in these days? If I talk about in 2025, where many transformation are already there, AI transformation, digitalization. So what are the skills you are looking for in today's professionals?
okay, so far I'm not hiring as we speak now, but the point here, I think, and that's the golden advice for everyone listening and watching for this episode. I'll hire the one that can tell me that I am one FTE, I'm one full headcount, but I'm equivalent to 10x, 10 other FTEs, because I know how to produce much more productivity through
Hmm.
one my skill. Uh, I think it's an announced news. I'll share with you the link as a reference for this episode to put it as a documentation. Spotify CEO said that no more hiring until you submit a business case that this job cannot be done by AI. So no more hiring for humans until you submit a business case. You need to
Oh,
prove as a hiring manager if this job cannot be done by AI. Why you need on hiring? This is one decision. A second decision, they said, For the current existing company, 30% restructuring, which is everyone is going through. That's completely fine because of AI or without AI. But the 70% remaining side, there will be a performance KPI of AI adoption, and it will be measured based on facts. So companies not blocking the AI, they are asking the team to use AI with, of course, with the restriction on terms of data when it comes to security and governance and cybersecurity. So if I see a resource in the market now and tell me that, why should I hire you? After we go through all the checks, the normal answers in the any interview, like technical skills, soft skills, leadership skills, situation management, emotional intelligence, I just want to see how this person will add multiple value, not for one FTE, but for 10x FTEs. That can justify I can go and hire a full of team with one brain, one human, but with many AI arms, if I may say, that can facilitate and produce more. That's my personal point of view.
Hmm. No, that makes sense because things are changing and expectations are different from CFO especially. CFO is in a difficult position, one of the most difficult personality in the company who is facing many things. He is touching all the pieces of the company and he is justifying it and he is becoming responsible for this. I don't know what will happen with the CFO in the future because there is no second CFO in the company who can manage the responsibility CFO is managing. So, Mehmood, I just want to move on to finance for non-finance part because I know this is your favorite part and you are managing with non-finance people. So, what they think about finance from their point of view?
Okay, so just want to start why I started finance for non-finance
Yeah.
uh, as a starting point. And for me, finance is not only for the CFOs and accountants. It is the language of the business. Said, if tomorrow you travel to Italy and you don't speak any Italian at all, you're just gonna manage. You will enjoy your trip, right? You can manage through English. You can manage through your mobile, the Google Translate. You can manage through using signs. Where can I go to the telephone, the bathroom, XYZ? You will enjoy your trip, right? Imagine this trip if you know the basic, you're not a native speaker, but if you know the basic language of Italian as a language, your experience will be much more rich. And for me, a non-finance major like supply chain resource or a sales resource or an HR resource, multi-team resource that has no clue about the P&L, the different metrics of the P&L or the balance sheet or cash flow or pricing, budgeting, forecasting, variance analysis, growth as a basic math, one plus one, multiplication and addition and division, nothing more than this, is for me running the business with a car and with eye closed. The car will move forward. The car will reach a destination with an eye closed, of course. But with the first turnaround, it will become as a disaster. And that's where the finance is not a luxury. Finance language is not a luxury. It is a language like English that you need to make sure that the basic understanding of the financials across all the board, across all the functions, has to be fully invented and be there. So that's the starting point. Second point, my friends outside work as well. They are more reactive to the economic situation. They are more confused with the economic situation. Reda, what should we do with X? How can we manage Y? What do you think X or Y is better than Z, for example? And having this reactive approach, and I started to inject some information, I saw how they are flowering, growing, making so much more economical, um, fact-based decision that can make them take the right decision in the future for their personal finance as well. And when I saw the impact on a group of people like friends, and I said, why should I have this information or basic movement or knowledge exclusive for me, my colleagues, and my friends? And whenever I go older or I go somewhere, it's not documented anywhere. We said this beautiful podcast that we're having now, it will be documented forever. AI can use it. It can teach generations after us, after we even leave this planet forever, say it as well. So the beauty of having documented finance for non-finance knowledge, and you get guests that is not mainly finance major to speak about the importance of finance in their career. Chief supply chain officer, human capital officer, marketing officer, they come and speak about how they are running the show using the financials and finance knowledge, and that's how they are accelerating and moving in their careers. So this is where the idea came of finance for non-finance. And to be fair, it should be finance for all, because I discovered in the data and the information I have said that 50% of my audience across the newsletter or the post or even in YouTube, they are finance major. And that was a shocking surprise for me. So 50% of non-finance and 50% is finance. But finance people, when I asked them, why you're listening? This is something like very basic for you. And they said, one, we need to admire how finance be on the spotlight and speak on the mic and navigate a discussion. This is one as a skill. Second, we need to see how the business sees us. We feel that we are understated, underappreciated, and I want to see how a supply chain officer or a marketing officer or a CEO in a company appreciate the role of finance and financials. So I'm just working on a accounts payable, accounts receivable, or as a controller. I want to see the end of or the creating value of that activity that I'm running at my end as an overall company as well. So this is where we reached finance for non-finance movement, and maybe evolvement of that idea will be finance for all, given that 50% of my audience are from non-finance background as well.
So normally, for example, I'm not talking about Unilever, but normally the non-finance people, if they want to learn finance, for example, because when you go to the manufacturing company, you find production manager is producing something. So you can see physically the effort he is doing. You can appreciate this and you value this person because he is producing something on behalf of company. Similarly, when production manager comes to finance, how he will learn finance, what is the key information he should know about finance?
Okay,
Because they,
that's a very good question. So if a factory resource, an engineer in the factory, will come to finance and learn some financials, what exactly how he or she will learn these financials,
yeah,
right?
this is my question.
Yeah, the beauty of that, and that's a superpower in the finance language side. It is the language, you know. This is how the business speaks. They speak only financials, KPIs. So number one, for an engineer in the factory, they need to translate their KPI. They have, for example, business waste target. They have stock days on hand target. They have saving on controllable cost target, for example. These kind of KPIs and targets, which is a lump sum percentage, a lump sum as amount or a percentage standalone, they need as a resource. If I were in his or her shoes, I'll ask myself how this number translate into financials. This is one. Second, if I miss my target or I over deliver my target, what will be the impact on P&L, on balance sheet, and on cash flow statement as well? And this is how I can showcase as an engineer in the factory that adding an additional 100 basis point on controllable cost unlock X number of basis point in terms of profitability, for example, or growth for the company, because that saving in controllable costs can be injected on other activity that can drive the business to grow. Or, for example, having an optimal stock days on hand, for example, can unlock X number of millions of euro when it comes to cash flow, for example, because I am aware of what is the translation of my KPI into the financials. But if imagine the same person that you're speaking about that has no clue what is the P&L or financial statement or cash flow or income statement at all, that person will just be delivered stock days in hand. Thank you very much. There's no story about that, and he or she doesn't get the the chain of impacts of missing, delivering, over delivering that target, and he or she can use the financial background understanding to unlock and achieve this number by negotiating with other sub parties, by negotiating with other departments in the company to deliver that target. So at least he can speak the business language to go to marketing team, for example, that I have business ways of X that will drain our profit by Y because of your decision going in XYZ decision, and I need to sit with you to agree how we can take it down. You see, I'm just using the finance language even to negotiate with other department to influence my target that will be translated into a number in the P&L at the end of the day. So that's for me like basic, like a baseline side that you need to know if you're a non-finance major, an HR person, supply chain, marketing, or sales. You need to know the translation of all your targets impact into the financials and what forum These financial are discussed so I can influence and deliver my targets and even over deliver my target. And once I deliver or over deliver, I can create story behind it, a financial story behind it,
Mm.
not an operational or technical story behind it as well.
But do you think there is a responsibility of finance as well to bring the visibility of this information in front of production manager, for example, just in case? So there is a lack of visibility. I don't know, there is a confidentiality issues or there is a system issues. Production other department does not have the clear visibility of financials. So
Yeah.
are you this is one of the major issue I think I can see. I can observe.
Yeah. So confidentiality has to be respected. If a company regulation that supply chain in the factory or sales team, they cannot go through the entire chain of the financials. But of course, Said, any company, they have town hall to go through the overall financials, right? Not very detailed specific. Yani, you're the expert of that, if you know what I mean. You don't need to share the exactly margin statement of every single product that we're selling as a confidential information to the entire organization. But if you go through a town hall of any company in the world, even public listed company, they have to declare top line growth, they have to declare profitability, current quarter, outlook of the year, share price impact, expected dividends. These basic information are fully announced as a public company or even family business, not listed company. They have a town hall to share the journey of the company when it comes to financials. If I just can mimic my impact on overall, there is no confidentiality here. I know
Mm.
the sales of my company and I know my business waste target or forecast accuracy number or whatever other KPI. I'm speaking about non-financial KPI, so at least we can link
Yeah.
it to non-finance people. This is where you can leave an impact and do. But if you're not thirsty enough to know the financials and you're just avoiding it, and that's one of my podcast guests said, other department, they're trying as much as they can to avoid it. And finance team, they are happy to keep it close as well at their end. So these two interests are in the same direction to have a financial literacy in the company where everyone will be speaking orange and mango, completely different language. But if we inject the knowledge of the impact of financials, finance team will step up to be in the spotlight, share the financials, drive an education series, many bytes. Factory team, they have cost accountant sitting next to them. Sales team, they have business partner sitting next to them. Supply chain team, they have supply chain finance business partner sitting next to them. If these two partners, they don't sit together and educate finance about non-finance language, like supply chain language, sales language, marketing language, and impact, and at the same time, finance start to inject this knowledge in other departments, if we don't do that, this business is not capable
Yeah,
enough to cater with the future. But if we do that, you can have 10x productivity of the value creation and any kind of decision, Said, it doesn't have to be escalated to the boardroom, which is very minor. If you inject this knowledge between these two partners, supply chain and finance, marketing and finance, sales and finance, 50 or 70% of the decisions on a daily basis will be resolved based on facts, not based on subjectivity, based
definitely.
on objectivity, not based on feeling. And whenever they go to the board, it will be quite cool and it will be already done deal, agreed, and this kind of efficiency will drive overall value across all the company. But if you have silos on the business between these, everyone will come with a business case, and the board will have a list of business cases that is already clear the decision based on the financials. But because there is a silos, they have to go to the board and waste everyone time and effort to take a done deal decision based on numbers.
I tell you one experience. Exactly, you are completely. I agree with you. I remember. I think I was working in last company, and there was a KPI of operation director that you will not exceed budget by 5%.
Mm.
And when I asked him where is the budget, nobody shared with me. I don't know where is the budget, but this is my KPI. And I said, how you fulfill this KPI? I just took number from finance.
Yeah,
They confirm, oh, you are not exceeding, we are fine. Bonus is eligible. So this is not the way the operation will support finance or company, because finance is not driving this cost. Finance is reporting the cost. The driver is operation. If you are not giving access to this information, and you can will not give him access and allow him to manage the cost, you will not get the fruit out of it.
yeah. I fully agree. Just one important point. Finance is not reporting the cost side. I still believe you can disagree with me. Everyone can disagree with me. Finance is driving the cost.
Hmm.
That's the new world that we're living in.
Exactly.
Reporting not will be done by AI. It's already done 1 year ago by AI. If you're not gonna jump from your reporting seat that's saying that this is the number I have at my end and go to the driving seat as a co-pilot. So move from the passenger seat in the flight as a finance receiving the numbers, reporting the number, jump directly next to the pilot as a co-pilot, as a partner, and riding the flight with the pilot and drive the number and be accountable to this number. This is the future. This is not the future. This is the past 1 year skill set that should be embedded everywhere. So if you're still in the passenger seat till this moment, it's a wake up call for you. You're late. You have to jump into the co-pilot seat immediately now. Of course, finance is not taking the decision to increase production, increase stock level, for example, in one of the warehouses, go and have a new warehouse purchase, for example, as an investment, buy a machine as a capex. I fully understand that. But if you're not as a co-pilot, you will be receiving this decision, and then the number reported will be super ugly, and everyone will be failing around. So if you don't go quickly and jump to the co-pilot seat, you will be part of the decision. At least as a finance major, you will reduce the damage. You will have some fact and reduce the damage if there is damage, of course. And even if there is no damage, you will create more value being co-pilot in that decision as well with your partner.
Yeah, this is 100% correct. And I think CEO is taking a lot of, he is relying on CFO a lot, CEO, because CFO is working as a co-pilot with the CEO right now. But not every company is following this kind of direction. Yes, I know the CEOs, they understand the value of CFOs, but still I can see many companies where CFO is not driving things. But I think this is a wake up call, as you said, that we need to jump into the driving seat and take the role of the new finance role, which is the future of finance. And I think AI and transformation is not the future, it's the present, I think. Now, if we talk about the 5 years ago, that was the future. But the word is still using future. It's not future, it's present. I remember if I need anything to understand, I don't need to go to Google now. I go to ChatGPT, and it is becoming habit now. People are answering email through ChatGPT. They just put the email, copy paste, and ChatGPT reply it, and just copy paste and paste to the email, and they send. So things are totally changed already. But the problem is the mindset. How do you think that people will change the mindset? Because mindset is everything. You have technical knowledge, you have accounting, finance, you have everything in your head. But the problem is how you see the opportunity within your company.
Yeah.
Mindset, how people change the mindset.
So I believe um, if if you don't have the right mindset, no one will be able to change your mindset.
Exactly.
This is not kindergarten, nursery that you need to handicap people, tell them wake up call. There is an AI. Wake up call. You need to take a decision. Of course, we do that through my content, through your content, as much as we can. But if you don't have the willingness, the curiosity, and the alarm that risk is coming and you need to cope, that will be challenged and no one will be able to help you except yourself. So this is a starting point, okay? This is not a handicap journey in real life that you need to get someone to take your hand and tell you this is the route and this is the route. I think as a human nature side, people wake up whenever they have a hit. Uh, the first restructuring project hits your department, people will start to wake up.
Hmm.
The first, and mark my word from now, okay? The first tailor-made ChatGPT finance as a CFO, people will start to wake up. They will take serious actions, and then they will start ask questions. But for everyone listening or watching this podcast, the message for you, if you want to start now, you need to start with prompt engineering. You don't need to be a coder. That's my point of view. You need to know how to speak with ChatGPT, how to speak with AI, what kind of articulation and persona that you need to give to the AI to get the maximum output. If the same tool site is available for me and you, what makes difference for me to produce 10x and you produce 5x only? how I'm clever enough to use this tool, right? The same, the same tool in the same table between me and you. The best carpenter will use the tool better than no one has no carpenting any background at whatsoever. So this is where you need to learn prompt engineering, and it's not coding, it's a prompt engineering. You need to read in that field to get the best out of that. This is one. Second, the world said that this change is a wave and the storm will come down. This is not happening anymore. If you notice in the last 5, 10 years, exactly 5 years, COVID, wars, economic crisis, uh, political situation everywhere, which is up and rising. And whenever we finish COVID, you say, okay, that was a wave. Let's go down to the old world of stability. And it doesn't happen anymore. So you need to have the mindset that this is the new norm, that even after the current trade war happening, something will pop up again. And after the current war will end, something will pop again. And the business need to build the resilience, and the personality need to build the resilience to cope with these changes as much as they can. And this resilience will not be born in one day. You need to get ready from now with kind of resilience mindset, with the right skill set required, and start investing in yourself. And for everyone watching and listening, if you don't do that today and now, it will be too late and you will be hit by job loss, restructuring, automating big part of your department, automating big part of your job. And until you hit that, if you don't prepare for that moment, the recovery of that will be so difficult because you need to swim against the current once you hit. Now you have the room, and you know what I mean, say, you have your job, you have your health, you have your time, you have the AI at early stage to adopt. But once AI will be advanced, you cannot just go and ask ChatGPT, how can I write an email? Can you please give me a picture of XYZ? Create a LinkedIn post for me? That will be like Spider-Man discovering that he's a Spider-Man and using this wires to run from the buildings. You know, that's simply our current AI scope now. Spider-Man using his capability to use it as a for fun. But once Spider-Man realized that his superpower can be used to make change, save lives, create impact, started to create that. This is the era that we're turning from ChatGPT creating emails, creating image, to be a fully intelligent assistant to every human being on this planet. And that will be the moment that it will be silly to say that I created this post or I have this image created by an AI, because that will be misuse of a resource.
So I drive 2 points from your discussion. One is we need to learn to ask the right question. This is an
True,
important thing because if you are not asking the right prompt on ChatGPT, you will not get the right answer. And second thing, we need to change ourselves before our AI will start integrating from your ERP system.
true,
And the moment it happens, something big will happen. Believe me, human role will be out of the company,
true,
especially
true,
finance, because they can give you more insight, timely insight during the meeting without having finance resource. We just need data entry operator, which is also going replaced by the robotic process and everything.
true,
So you have some time to learn your transformation, to transform yourself, understand the business, understand how to present yourself, storytelling, before AI is going to integrate with your ERP system. The moment it will integrate, and that will happen, believe me, there is a matter of trust that people are not comfortable. But I have seen one Oracle presentation, they are giving this solution, and there is a human, computer human, who is talking to the management. They are asking question, what is my sales of last year compared to this year? The human is answering. And yeah, they are not answering how much percentage, they are answering why and what is the future you have to take the step, action plans. So this big picture is going to come. And before that, we have to change ourselves.
I fully agree. We will be the last people to see a board meeting with only humans.
Yeah,
You hear me
exactly.
out? We are the only people now in this age will be the last people to have board meeting with only humans, because
Exactly.
board will be injected with 2 and 3 AIs in addition to humans. Board will be a mix between human board meeting, huh? This is not a small team. The big decision will be mixed between humans and AI for the company direction. This is where we're heading now, very soon.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Any last advice, Mahmoud, for the generation we are talking about, young generation or the people like me?
Uh, not like you and me. I'm not that kind of person uh, to give advice for the younger generation because, to be fair, whenever I meet Gen Z, I ask them zillion of questions. I am the one need to learn from them. Uh, this is the kind of change mindset now, where they have so much powerful tools in their hands that we didn't, me and you have before. Uh, and that will unlock much bigger value for them. We don't know yet how big it is, but one is don't get afraid of that change. Cope with the change. Be agile with the change. Try to bounce back with the change. Don't resist the change. I think resisting the change will be on a much older age, like me and you. But I mean, for younger generation, uh, that will be the baseline for them to use AI in their studies as we speak now. My my only advice for university student as we speak now, even if you're a university student now, might seem for you irrelevant using AI, because your master degree or bachelor degree that you're studying now can get achieved easily in record time by AI and achieving higher marks from you, but you're just building the foundation for the future. Make sure you have a solid foundation for the future. Even if
Exactly.
this solid foundation for you seems irrelevant now, but it will help you later in the future. Equip yourself every single day with skills. Go volunteer for free for service in the community, in other companies. If you have the time, use every single minute to build your muscles because you're gonna need them deeply, badly in the future.
And good part of young generation, Mahmoud, they're starting from very high standards. Uh,
True.
Remember our start single entry, bank reconciliation, debit credit, and these terminologies are nowhere. So their standard is very high. They don't know what is the behind the scene, what was the behind the scene, how this machine was cooked. But we were the part of that manufacturing area where accounting was cooked in the books. So we have a different generation, and I say people that the transformation we as a generation have seen, nobody has seen before us, and nobody will see after us.
True.
So this is both generation has different plus and minus, but I think new generation is more smarter than us.
I agree with that. That's why I said I am no one to set the younger generation in front of me and tell them advice. I learn from them every single day. Whenever I see co-ops or university students in my company, I go and gather them all. I invite them for a cup of tea, ask them all of question. What is your favorite food? Where do you go? What is your passion? What is your dream for the future? And I get so inspiration side from the younger generation, I have to say, especially nowadays, which is even there are the biggest consumer. The current kind of marketing and companies are targeting this kind of consumer, not me and you anymore. And that's why we need to be focused on them. The kind of advice that we can give them, the lesson that we learn it, whether it's relevant for them or not. But if they seek and help, we can tell them what exactly we went through, me and you, before, and what kind of resilience mindset we've been building as much as we can to the power of whatever we have. But at the same time, we cannot educate them about the future as we speak now. We need to learn from them about the future. How do they see the future from now?
So, with this powerful advice, we have to end our podcast. Mehmood, thank you so much for your time. And really, I enjoyed this discussion, as always, with you. And inshallah, whenever I'm coming to Dubai, we'll catch up again.
Let's catch up again. Maybe we're gonna unlock something bigger next time whenever we catch up as well.
Inshallah.
It is my pleasure. Thank you so much, Said. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mehmood.
Thank you. Bye bye.